Hello, this is always project number 2 demo video. My student number is 109550073, and this is my first screenshot, which shows two kernels, which are Linux 4.19 4.148 and Linux 5.13.19 under the folder of USR SRC. Screenshot number 2 implies the two config file we obtained from the previous menu config. The screenshot number 3 consists of two parts. The first part is the build process of the Linux 4.19.148, and the second part is the build process of the Linux 5.13.19. After compiling and install and reboot the system, we can see the GRUB menu, which is the screenshot number 4, and it shows both kernel, which are Linux 5.13.19 and Linux 4.19.148. The screenshot file consists of two parts too, and which is ensure the version of the kernel. The first one is that we type the command uname -r and we get the 4.19.148. And the second part is we do the same thing in the kernel 5.13.19, and it shows the version of the kernel. Next, we proceed to the section 2, which is system code. First, we create a folder, system code test, and as a folder echo test, and we create two files. The first one is echo test.c, and the second is makefile. And we can see that in the part 2 screenshot, and this is the echo test.c, and the next one is makefile. For screenshot 7 and 8, we have to compare the original version of system code _64.tbl, which is the screenshot number 7 right now, and the next one is the screenshot number 8, which is the modified version of the system code _64.tbl. We add the two new custom system code. The first one is hello world, the second is echo. For screenshot number 9, we go to system codes.h, and we declare two system code that we just done in previous screenshot. The first one is system code test hello world, and the return value is void, and the function type is void. And the second one is system code test echo, the function type is integer. The screenshot number 10, we do the same thing again, but this time is under the Linux 5.13.19, and we create the first folder system code test, and of course it's a folder echo test, and we have echo test.c and makefile in this folder too. And the content of the echo test is almost the same except for the kernel version we indicate here and here. And next one is makefile. Makefile is the same because the file name is also the same. Screenshot 11 shows the system code _64.tbl. This table before modified, and this is empty, right? And this is screenshot number 11. And for the screenshot number 12, we can see that we add two system code and begin with number 554 and 555 because we want to accept that from the Linux 4.19.148, and these two system code is added. The screenshot number 13, we do the same thing again under Linux 5.13.19, and this is codes.h. We add these two lines, which indicate the function type of the system code. After those modify of the previous screenshots, we start to rebuild our kernel, and this screenshot number 14 shows the successful build of the Linux 4.19.148 down, and we have all the image here. And the next part is also the screenshot number 14, but this time is for Linux 4.13.19. It's also successfully rebuilt. For screenshot number 15, we run the program, which is system code hello echo.c for testing the system code we wrote before. And first we ensure that our kernel version, and we compile the system code hello echo, and we get the A out, and then we run the A out, and we have this output here, and we can see that the system code runs successfully with return 0, and under the kernel 5.13.19 here, which has the output -1, means that we are not in this kernel. And then we can type dmesg for getting kernel message, and we can see here, which is the print k under the system code function there, and it runs successfully with my student number. For screenshot number 16, we reboot the system and get into the kernel 5.13.19 and do the same thing on the previous screenshot. And we have the output of 0 under the kernel 5.13.19 this time, and we have -1 under the 4.19.148 kernel, which indicates that we are not in this kernel. And we do dmesg again, and we have the system code message here, and it changed to kernel 5.13.19 and my student number again. For screenshot number 17, we do our custom system code this time, and because the content is a little bit long, so I I split into two parts. The first part is the function. First is return value and minimum, we find the minimum, and maximum, we find the maximum, and display data types. I use the size of function here. And for the system code defined part here, we have the system code name and the parameters we have to use here, and code function here for the whole for system code. Next, we proceed the same thing under the Linux 5.13.19 here. We have the numerical test.c here with the for function, and this time we change to addition and multiplication, which is add two numbers input and multiply two numbers input. And the first and last parts of the function is still the same. And next part here, we have system code defined here with the input parameters here and return the function and code function we just wrote on the previous page here. Screenshot number 19, we show it shows the kernel Linux 4.19.148 makefile here. The first one is under the system code test and the subfolder of numerical test here, which is the output of numerical test d.o. And the next is makefile under the Linux 4.19.148 here. We added the system code test numerical test here. For screenshot number 20, we entry to system code underline 64.tbl, and we add the new for system code right here, which is 5502553 here. For screenshot number 21, we go to system codes.h here, and we add for system code, which is return value function type here, 1, 2, 3, 4 minimum, maximum data types, and return individual values. For screenshot number 22, for now, we change to the kernel 5.13.19 with its makefile here. And the first one here, this is screenshot number 22. We have the makefile under system code test, numerical test here. And next one is the makefile under the 5.13.19. And we also added the system code test, numerical test here. For screenshot number 23, we proceed to system code underline 64.tbl under the kernel 5.13.19. And we added 4 new system code here, which indicates the system code number with its system code name. For screenshot number 24, we do the same thing again in the system codes.h under the kernel 5.13.19, and we add 4 system code function declaration here with its function type integer, return individual values, addition, multiplication, and data types. Screenshot number 25 is the output of the testing program after we rebuilt the kernel again. First, we enter into the kernel 4.19.148, and we compile the testing file, which is system code numerical.c into a.out, and we execute a.out, and we have this output, and we can see that we are in the kernel 4.19.148. We have the following output of each system code, and we have -1 at every system code at the kernel 5.13.19 section because we are not in its kernel. Screenshot number 26 is that we try to have the kernel message of the kernel 4.9.148. So we enter the command dmesg for having it, and we have the following output from the custom system code we just wrote. We have return individual values, student ID, hello world, minimum, maximum, and the size of different variables here. And we can see that the system code here proceeds successfully. For screenshot number 27, we proceed to another kernel version, which is 5.13.19, and we do the same thing as before, and we have the following output here. And we can see that under the kernel 5.13.19, we have the following return value of our custom system code here, and we have -1 at 4.19.148 section because we're not in the 4.19.148 for now. For the last screenshot, which is screenshot number 28, we also have the dmesg command for having the kernel message here. And we can say that every kind of the system code we wrote for the kernel 5.13.19 just proceed well. We have hello world, student ID, return individual values, addition, multiplication, and the size of different kinds of variables here. And we can see that the homework just went very well. And I hope you will like this video. And thank you.